A tough battle ahead, that's for sure. It's time to kick it off. Ascent loaded up and ready, and we've got barriers up. Fnatic on the defensive side, and sure to see a lot of depth here. Of course, a mirror matchup as well. Teams intimately familiar with the map, with the intentions of their opponents, and we could have a banger on our hands. We'll see if BBL can deliver the level that Fnatic have been playing at so consistently.
But that's the thing. I actually think it's better for BBL to start on that attack. Warm up into the game. You expect the defensive side to be the more dominant of the two. For now, though, Kushner is going to get in with space. And actually, all that's really been put there is just some utility. Fnatic were fighting the other side of the map and almost playing a full retake from the get-go.
Yeah, this is panned out into a decent position for Fnatic to fight back in if they can grab themselves a little corner of map control. You see, fighting for this site, sometimes it's easy to push those players back to main, but they are stacked up heavy. 4 players over towards that Jenny and door area, looking for a fight, and I almost wonder if they're going to burst out and... Oh, never mind. I didn't see that shock dart coming. Great one from Leo. First round already up to his old tricks down to the site. Kamek good for a little more, maybe. Helped out by Boaster to finish off that kill. They've spotted Turco dealt with him right away. And Suchny, the last man alive. I don't think he's getting away with all too much here. And indeed, the defuse comes through from Boaster. 1 round for Fnatic.
No, and it's a scenario as well where you're basically given that afterplant for free. You're given that opportunity to just start things off with a bang. And there's already a whiff or two. Like that's a bad sign for me. The fact that I think it was Chronicle manages to get away with a bit of a freebie in the end. And also just the shock dart. Now, this might be a bit of a bold claim. I've got very little to back this up other than the eye test. I think Leo might be like the best freehand shock darter in the world. And I mean that he's not just setting up these crazy lineups. It's just his prediction of where someone will be, and he just shoots it like maybe like not even with a bounce, just insta.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you there. Just looking at, we'll have to have a look at shock dart kills overall. He's probably leading there as well. Another one fired through. Look at the damage. Turco thought for a second about peeking on the corner to trade his teammate, and already he's down to 50 HP. It's just tough to play against this guy.
Yeah, he might not have the best team synergy out of the server. They might not necessarily want to join in.
He's not going to do your conga lines.
Yeah, exactly. In the server, incredible. And I think that's all that really matters to Fnatic. Nice shot, though, from Kushner. These are the sort of kills, if they can sort of steal away, maybe get a gun, do a little bit of extra damage in this round. They haven't invested massively, so even just the extra ult orbs they will gain and the extra cost they'll cause to Fnatic could be huge.
Boaster has Leo close by, but he's going to have to do a hell of a job holding off by himself. Okay, they got another kill there from the BBL side. Altogether, the damage done is massive. A 1v2 on the board. Definitely possible. Spike not in an ideal spot. It's more so the timing, though. Fnatic just making their way to this corner. And I thought maybe we'd have a double peek coming in any moment, but they're starting to second guess where this player's gone. Maybe he's making it around through garden. Now they know the spike was tapped. He's on the site. Cloudburst across, gap in them. It's spotted by Aslan, and he's got him lined up. Luckily, they're able to finish off that kill in a clean trade. And another round for Fnatic. But look, Tom, you come into this round, I don't think you're expecting BBL to do that much damage off rip.
No, they had rifles as well. Fnatic were mostly investing into Bulldogs. Like, you look at sort of the beginning stages of the round, Boaster had a Bulldog. I think the majority of people did. And I think there was 1 rifle maybe onto Kamek, like in terms of a Vandal. So that's a huge amount of damage. And now what should have been a very good round coming in with a purchase for Fnatic ends up with a mixed bag buy. So this is a great chance for the Logitech G power-up round for basic that side of BBL to get off to a flying start.
Well, the last game yesterday that we were casting, Tom, we saw, consistently that 3rd round, even though the teams were losing the 2nd round or suffering heavy casualties, they had that Bulldog buy with lots of pistols. They were always able to buy back up. Fnatic don't have that opportunity here. I think they've made the right call by playing it as a sheer bonus. 3 stingers, you can still get a lot of damage done with those. But with the amount of damage BBL did early on, this is certainly a promising start for the roster. Let's see if they can convert this one in a decently easy fashion.
Ooh, okay. Dirk is going to be picked off early. They are walking into the 1 rifle of Kamek. Obviously that player sort of standing in today, he's been picked off very easily as well. Solid entries from BBL. And from here on out, honestly, this round should be plain sailing.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. I mean, you're not expecting to see Fnatic over-aggressing into any of these angles. They're going to sit back and wait for BBL to make a mistake, and that just shouldn't happen. Not when you've got these rifles, not when you know what you're up against. And you can see they've handled every duel on range, not losing even HP for the most part. Left to Leo to do something, and nothing. I mean, what an answer back from BBL, losing the pistol, but despite being behind, they very much feel ahead on this map so far.
Yeah, a really nice round from them. Of course, I think it's obviously going to get a little bit tougher when rifles are in on the board. I don't think you're going to get as much pressure down mid or as easily as they did, but even still, just managing to not make any mistakes, having those sort of controlled lurks, and that's actually something I really want to focus on, because I feel like in this sort of new iteration of BBL, or at least the new coach coming back from being there before and sort of changing things up in terms of who's doing what, more structured roles, Aslan is the player I want to focus on. Can he make it work on this Sentinel? Because we've seen him as a controller before. That was pretty decent. As a duelist, he definitely thrived. I'm still not really convinced just yet about his Sentinel play.
Oh, that's something that can change in time, maybe even in this series. Sure. We'll see. So far here for BBL, very slow approach on this attack, prodding on B main and up through middle, but not seeing all too much. And I think this is going to be a blind push for the A side. And in terms of making their way through, I mean, they've still got everything to work with. They've got their full smokes, and Fnatic are playing offside. They should be able to walk in here decently easy. The nade even to clear wine and just double check no one snuck in. The drone going through, following up on Cutie, and well, they've got the site for sure, a plant, and that is a great lurk out of Aslan. Oh, the short fight is his as well.
Okay, they managed to do very well here. Even a swing round through the window coming in from Kushina is going to give them a massive advantage, and I almost feel like the remaining players of Fnatic might just have to save the weaponry. I don't see a way back into this one unless there's a massive mistake, and you could see from BBL, this is very controlled. They are not looking to get that little bit extra aggressive until they know it's already finished.
Bot coming back. Turret out.
Fnatic are certainly looking safe because of that. I love the idea from BBL. You know, the faster play through, Cutie pushing up into heaven, quickly making his way around Garden. Those players are blindsided by the push that's coming in on site. And then you have Aslan, you know, the very player that we mentioned at the start of this round in the Sentinel role. He was the one laid on B when they're putting their knife up through middle and KO's checking there's no one around market. He's the one still in B main and slowly making his way back around. That mid lurk, you know, you get one there. That's already good. You're disrupting them a lot. You're getting the space for your teammates on the site. But following up on another kill on short, that just left the Fnatic side in chaos.
Yeah, and there's not really that much opportunity for a response. Unfortunately, the ultimate online from the Shadows isn't going to be one that grants them any extra weaponry. But yeah, I think that's the thing. If you're on the side of BBL, you have to realize very quickly, Fnatic are happy to play retake.
Yes.
So the main thing is, if you have someone like Aslan who can cut off their opportunities to retake by just being in the backlines, and even then having that further aggressive QT of, okay, you can't retake because you don't even know where I am.
It's very dependent on teams, but in moments like that where you're making the push, you know, you set up on a default and wait for your opponents to make a move. Win rates tend to dive. Boaster's being caught by that paranoia. It cost him a second in the fight, but that's all it took. Is Chronicle actually going to go for this? I mean, they've spotted at least two, and you have to expect there could be more. It's a big risk, but they also might have rotated by now. You wouldn't blame him for the swing, but Cutie is playing so patient, waiting for Brave to get contact so he can swing on that angle, making sure Chronicle could never make it around the corner, even if he got that first shot off onto Brave. This is a death trap, and Chronicle is doing a great job of avoiding falling to it. Right now, the patience on display is staggering, to be honest, and eventually the knife will go out. It's a little closer, and I don't think that caught them. Yeah, that's got him out into the corner, but they changed their setup.
Yeah.
So he actually gets the kill and out for free.
Yeah, I think they were almost looking to fall back off of this, and definitely will now. The thing is, Fnatic have gamble rotated pretty much everyone there. The information that was garnered out from Chronicle sets up their stack. Of course, they don't have much in terms of weaponry, so not really wanting to push too much here. And the fact is, even if they do just go for a retake, they'll be able to pick up an extra gun, so it might not even be too bad.
Man, that drone in A main, that is a hard fake. If you're Fnatic right now, there's no way you rotate for a couple seconds at least. Here comes the recon. And you know, maybe you start to realize there's no smokes gone down. Just Sova utility, just one player we know to be here. And yeah, there's the movement as they start to realize they're not making a 10-second 5-man A main push. They've gone B, found the open site, found a plant. And now the retake once again has to be attempted, but the weaponry is such a huge disadvantage. You know, if Durka finds a kill or something, well, two really to get that Blade Storm online, they're already winning the round. So it's going to have to be those rifles of Chronicle, Kamek, Leo.
They're using the lockdown just to hold them back. Clearly that little bit more wary that this might still be possible. Now, a gun has been retrieved for Leo. He went and got that off the player that died in A main. So this is still 3 guns. Dirk almost being the sacrificial lamb, but through that smoke, even still though, Chronicle managed to find a couple. The time, though, is starting to tick. Durka's going to have to get a move on. He knows there's a player behind. Lands the instant shot, but he needs to get this kill, and he needs to get it now. The time too far gone, and Turco may just go down to the spike, in fact. An incredibly costly round for BBL, but they get it over the line.
Just about. But with the way this game has started, you certainly wouldn't think that they were underdogs in this matchup. They are fighting pound for pound. Their early rounds are good. And again, we haven't seen Fnatic play that full buy really at all. This is going to be the big decider round. There's ultis online. They have a ton at their disposal. But early signs of life here from BBL are looking fantastic.
The main difference, though, is the operator.
Yes.
That's where Durka can really take those fights into mid. That's where he is a danger, and already the updraft is going to give him an opportunity. Doesn't find anything. In fact, they're taking a quick-paced look, in fact, towards his B site. Only Kamek going to be on spot, but that might be enough. He's already found the opener.
Yeah, at that point, fall back, play the retake for sure. Fantastic opening for them over on the Fnatic side. Durka going to be trying to reposition that operator to catch any of these players, leaving themselves open to spawn, getting aggressive, or once that plant goes down, the late play retake. Ultis, I mean, there's an absolute ton of them online right now. And you have to imagine, if you're in the boots of BBL, you almost want to get off that site. You want to fight your way out of it a lot of the time, but they are content to stay stuck in. They've got to win these duels when it comes down to it, but Fnatic, that's when they'll be burning all their utility.
Already, though. There's the shot landed from Durka. A chance. Sushni responds. Brave. Actually, they start to push forward. They're not allowing them to retake at all. Brave just shutting them down with 3, and I'm loving this from BBL. I think they know if they sit back, if they wait patiently, they give that time to Fnatic to build up their retake. They're some of the best players in the world. But if you get up in their face and brawl, that's where things start to get a little bit more shaky.
It's such an interesting difference on what we'll see from a lot of teams who try to make that aggressive stance in towards the spawn. They try to go
moving already.
They try to go B main and everything like that. Get that extra foothold, your extra angle to fight from. You know, sitting on this side and waiting is usually a death sentence, and especially against a team like Fnatic. They sort of end up in a middle ground. They do sit on the site, they do turtle, but then when they sense that the timing is now, they're making the push, this is where they're going for their space, which is often given off by the utility. You know, your KO knife over on short, you see that near the lane, you're like, okay, if you're throwing that now, you're probably going to start coming around those corners pretty damn soon. And that's when they go forward for that extra little disruptive play, that tiny extra angle to catch you as you're clearing everything else. And well, you can't account for that sort of play every single time, you know, Brave just going crazy, but you'll certainly take it. And it's such a key moment as well. That's the buy round for Fnatic, the operator up. They are now at 4-2, and you forced a timeout out of them in the first 6 rounds. That is a feat for BBL already.
The other thing as well is that was, what, a 3 versus 5. So it was like they almost had to do something. You managed to have Durka finding the openers back into position, so they play aggressively because they were screwed if they sat there. So just good mid-rounds, basically. And that was always the thing. Like we saw with the old BBL, they didn't have an IGL, didn't have a proper one at least. So now they brought one in. Maybe this will be the difference maker.
Oh, Durka! That is disgusting! Turco was practically in his spawn. No, not practically. Look at the map. He was in his spawn. Oh, and he gets no chance to leave it. BBL down a man. Okay, they've got ultis to try and make this back, but it's pretty much neck and neck with the Fnatic side. An isolated Jet, the dash in out of Kushner, now leaves him alone. And these players, they're looking to take the fight, but not winning it. Not just yet. Boaster good for 1, that's all. The site has fallen from the shadows to the site, plant in. And BBL, they've recovered nicely from an early pick from Durka. Still that Blade Storm to worry about, though.
Yeah, he can always still cause issues, cause problems. But in these after plants, it's looked pretty good so far for the side of BBL. Waiting patiently, just trying to set this man up where they can. Again, it's proactive, but it might be a little bit troublesome. No, Durka's missed the knives. It looked for free. And now Kushner looking to wrap him from behind. He's not being paid attention to at all. He's going to go up above, try and use the knives himself. He lands a and a second. What a play from Kushner. How has he got away with that?
That is a ridiculous round. I could watch that back all day. Updraft Blade Storm kills on both sides. And the impact tangible. 5 rounds now for BBL. Turkey is showing up like something else here. And wow, anything you can do, I can do better, huh?
Because the thing is, normally from this spot, you're almost screwed. You're almost screwed because you're playing out of the site. They've got 2 players within it, and they can just basically have one hold and stick the defuse. So he just does the first thing that comes to his head, a Turkish jet out of nowhere, and just takes them both down. Wonderful individual prowess from the side of BBL, and 5-2 up on the attacker side right now. They're looking very good.
Just clean as can be. From this point on, if Fnatic have a flawless half, they're still in probably what was their worst case scenario coming into this map in their head. Crazy performance, and it doesn't stop there. Kushner straight into the site, taking down Boaster. Smokes are gone. Gonna be a tough retake if they keep losing players. What is that from Kushner? Giving them no solace in this round. BBL have just taken a 6th, by all accounts. A god-tier performance from Chronicle and Leo needed to pull this back. If he jumps up, though, that could be the domino. No. Okay, there was a flash, please.
Yeah, they're waiting to make sure that they're just not right on them, and they have to fall back. It is just Kushner in the zone right now. We saw it the other day from Safe, where it just looked like he was unstoppable within the server, and I think QE might have just hit a similar gear. Maybe they have the same breakfast routine. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I've not seen too many players be able to pull off games like this, especially not against Fnatic.
I need like a Venn diagram. Him, pop Safe in there as well. What do they do before the games? There has to be an overlap, and in there we'll find the secret, Tom. We're getting the Radiant this season. This is how we do it. But look, if you're Fnatic, calling a pause, you know, the round before last, the solutions have not been easy to come by. That's for damn sure. At this point, 6-2 down, and let's think about how that round just unfolded. That's not the kind of thing that you're going to have a simple little tweak to. No. They just got stomped and styled on. I wouldn't be surprised to see another pause now.
It is, like, Boaster gets caught repositioning, Kamek tries to return the round, and then Durka, who's going to expect the player to, because that's his second dash. He got a dash from 2 kills, so he second dashes up into heaven and kills Durka. And that's almost just disrespectful.
What a start to this. You know, we always like to plant the seeds early on for games like this. We said Ascent, BBL, it's not the end of the world, and we heard lots of reasons why they can perform here, but this is staggering so far. And you have to expect that Fnatic are close to that turnaround, to turning over the new leaf and making a completely new face to this. Maybe defensive side, maybe it'll be on the attack. Hell, this is a team that can make comebacks happen. We know that for sure, but well, let's see if BBL can keep up that pressure all the way through. Durka finally getting that pick with the op. You know, we saw it come out, but he hasn't really gotten the chances. It's rare to see him shut down in the way he has been.
Well, this will be the main thing now. What else have BBL got? Because they've lost their talisman. They've lost the guy who's basically just been running into sites, killing everyone. And even the man who clutched them the round prior. Nice shots coming out from Chronicle as well. We'll get rid of Sushni. And they're starting to run out of players to just sort of throw in and take these risks. Instead, they're going to try and almost sneak their way in onto this site. The turret will give them the information, and Fnatic are not budging. They are waiting for this retake to come through and just chipping away at them with their utility.
And that spike's still not in play. Lockdown's available for Fnatic, and I think they were trying to get that out of them early. Eventually it comes into play. And they'll look to play outside altogether in Wine, in main, giving up the site control completely. I mean, there's not too much of a choice when it comes to a round like this, unless you want to fight for the lockdown. Good paranoia returned. They've got site control. They could be tapping it already. I mean, this is panic stations. If you're BBL, they're winning the fight. So, again, coming out ahead in an almost impossible scenario. BBL, a different roster, has set foot on this stage today. They are 7-2 in the lead, making world champions look like rookies.
I'm gobsmacked.
The retake, the lockdown, they're all in main on the one angle. There's nades going in. Like, how does that happen?
It literally, they forced them back. Then they used the paranoia to force them back again. Keep them in the same corner. And then they just get slaughtered. This map, was made in Turkey. I don't even care. 7 rounds in a row for BBL. They are obliterating Fnatic at every single corner. And once again, Fnatic are left to play with very little for this round.
Even the shock dart doesn't land. And that, if anything, is a sign of where Fnatic are at right now. Everything that normally works for them, everything that's a given on a normal day, it's just not there right now. It's not connecting in the same way. The frustration must be unbelievable to deal with now. BBL, 7-2 in the lead. Many rounds left to play for in this half. And they've set their eyes on the B side.
Durka's gone walkabouts, though. He's getting so much information. They've probably heard the drone through main. Aslan looks away. The thing is, he's going to probably push because of that drone, but he might just get the kill onto Shushni instead. He's actually going to go running through the spawn. This is a lot of information that there's nobody lurking through that mid position. A faster rotation, but there's 3 players at the back of site. A free kill for Durka, but in the meantime, the rest are getting wiped out. It's left onto Leo. Can he hold the line at least a little longer? A nice headshot to at least keep it as a 2v2. But again, it's these after plants, but the spam almost gets Aslan.
He's left down to 19 HP. Look, that can be pretty easy to clean up. They just need to find Kushner. Easier said than done a lot of the time.
Oh no.
So close. If he decides to go for this, could be the difference maker. Still not sure exactly where these players are. The wall bangs giving them a haircut. They're coming close, but in the end, it's BBL to find that kill. Chronicle falling to the 19 HP. Aslan, the last man standing, and stand he will. 8 rounds now for BBL, and there is nothing they can do wrong. Even when they're backed into a corner, they come out swinging. Unreal to see this level of performance for a team that we've always had so much hope for, but we've never seen them deliver like this.
No. And the thing is, a lot of these rounds have been incredibly tight. Like, I don't think it's crazy to say that we could easily sit at like an even scoreline or even maybe Fnatic in the lead.
This could be 8-2 to Fnatic.
It's just been these sort of clutch scenarios where Aslan, Kushner, Brave, we've had moments from every single one. 8-2. Whether you thought that BBL had a chance, I don't think anybody sat here with this scoreline in mind. And once again, Kushner, he's going to take that space. A lot of damage on the way in. Even still, though, an afterplan, very likely.
Yeah, they've left their turret behind here on BBL. Unless someone's coming flank, and I don't think they are. That's a ton of information to play with late round. Spams are good. Damage is massive. But Kamek down to 39 HP on the way back through. I heard shock darts fired off. No targets found with them, but Dirk has fallen, so has Boaster. Now it's only the heaven push left. 3 players, 1 angle, and all the guns are looking at them on the way through. Fnatic dropping player after player. Kamek still alive, but still so painstakingly low. That reveal is perfect. And this last man standing, the first one to be tagged up. He's running to save this weapon on the other side of the map. Given up, conceded the round. 9 now, a guarantee for BBL and Fnatic. Maybe they want to go 11-3 down. That's the best strategy I've got in my mind right now for them. This has been tough.
Yeah, that round was also just a bit peculiar because you obviously had the lockdown, the attacker lockdown in play. I don't know if Boaster was just trying to make some sort of like TikTok play, but he's like in the site.
Yeah.
There's no way they're denying that lockdown. None at all. The rest of his teammates can't push through heaven because he's already in there and the lockdown's going to deny them. So it just means that he goes down almost for free, and then the rest of the players are all coming in from one angle. It made it a lot easier for BBL to actually isolate that one, and almost looked a bit more panicky than what I'm used to from Fnatic. Normally they're very controlled and structured in their retakes. I don't know. They're not looking like that right now.
Well, this side has certainly surprised us. We're now in the last round of the half. BBL potentially exiting with double digits. Not something I thought I'd have to say here today. For Fnatic, I mean, they come in with weaknesses, but Durka has got his Blade Storm, and that's it used.
Oh my God.
Ripping off the head of the Sova, and BBL now just running away, leaving Suchini's body behind as they meet Durka yet again. He doesn't know there's a player in main. Oh no, it's not going to be a problem, apparently. A bit of an awkward fight on both accounts, but Cutie does come out ahead. Look, I said before, Fnatic, the things that normally work for them, they just haven't been. And, well, Durka's at least managed to find them something. We'll see if they can close the round, though.
They have the advantage. It's just whether they can actually capitalize on it. Kamek, again, left as the solo defender of this site being pressured. He's heard all the steps. The flash is solid. A kill that almost comes too easy off the utility from Fnatic, and that's more of what we expect of them. 9-3, though, the only thing we can talk about in their favor is a curse that most don't believe in. And BBL have looked utterly unstoppable. And the only round that wasn't a pistol or follow-up that Fnatic got was that one, the one we just saw.
2-0 up, 3 rounds at the half. Not the storyline I thought we'd be walking into here today, that's for damn sure. BBL, like, I don't even know where to start. We had questions around Aslan. I think probably the best thing to take away from that, you know, he played a damn good game, you know?
Yeah.
Solid. You remember that, what was it, 3rd round lurk through mid? Unreal, the amount of damage they were able to, maybe it was 4th. But he's been doing well on that controller role, and obviously, Cutie. I mean,
yeah, he's been pretty good, you know. He's been pretty good.
You know, when Durka dies in all 12 rounds, you know, you know it's not a normal game. This is not a normal Fnatic map, and I think a lot of it comes down to Cutie. His entries have been nuts. He has, let's just put it this way, he's 3 less deaths playing the attack side Jet, right? Durka had the AWP and everything. Cutie was often just dashing into A site, getting isolated by nano swarms, getting peeked by 3 players, and he was killing them all.
Yeah.
Like, just unbelievable stuff from this guy, and, you know, we've hyped him up a lot coming into this season, but he's over-delivered again and again.
Yeah, for sure. He's been testing out different things. We saw his Omen on Icebox, which honestly was actually pretty good on the attack. I'd say on the defense, maybe not so much, but that was where I actually enjoyed watching him play, the risks he's willing to take for his team. And I think that's a lot of what we can talk about in this match, is that BBL are very happy to take risks in positions where they're needed. Like, get that little bit more aggressive, throw in a Blade Storm to try and win out a clutch. Like, go for these dash plays straight in towards the site, and even then double dash straight into heaven to kill a guy with an operator. These are plays that sometimes they'll succeed, sometimes they'll fail, and every single one succeeded for BBL.
Yeah, no, you really could see it in the duels, in the entries, in every aspect of the game. BBL were ahead, except for pistol rounds, you know? And all in all, you'll take that. And that's an important topic, honestly, coming into half number 2. This pistol round for Fnatic, I mean, it's going to carry a lot of weight yet again. You come into those buy rounds with the form that Cutie's on. Now he's on the defensive side as well. The buff on Jet there should be massive. So for Fnatic, you know, you want to get off to a good start here in this half, or you're going to start to think about Haven real soon.
Well, this is where I think the focal point of Aslan actually really comes true. Because he's someone where, realistically on the attacker side, lurking, playing a solo role, trying to find entries, trying to catch people, I don't think it's something that's the most difficult thing in the world. Now he becomes a focal point. Now he becomes someone that they're going to try and pressure. They're going to try and counter. Maybe not. It looks like they're going to push mid.
Yeah. Well, look, pistol round strats, sometimes you just roll the dice. Pick it on strat roulette, and that's certainly an interesting strat. Cutie swinging out wide, allowing his teammates through that mid funnel, and they are there to support immediately. The damage done is massive. You're seeing Durka with just 45 HP. And the player that's already pushed to site made it a little bit of the way towards stairs, but again, an angle that they're very much aware they've given up, and they're holding for. He's now lit up as well. Both remaining players low. BBL have the man advantage, and they're probably just going to wait for Brave to group up with them. He's quite a bit away. He was still over on the A side in case it was going to be a super late switch up. It's going to cost him some time, getting him back into position. You almost imagine you want to destroy the turret there, just so they might think you're coming behind, but all right. All of them coming through market. Just take the fights and see it. Well, what? That's a little ridiculous. No. I think they had a reveal, right?
Yeah. This leaves it so tough for Kamek. They're going to even check for him. He gets 1 but 3 HP. There's no chance. Turco with a quick trade and a pistol now under BBL's belt. They are getting closer and closer to taking this first map and taking it dominantly. Now, sure, if we were going to give them anything in the series, this was the map to take, but even still, I feel like this is going to be a huge confidence booster for this squad.
Oh, yeah. Look, I said to you, Tom, coming into today, you pulled up, and I said, Tom, listen, if BBL actually think they have a chance or a likelihood, let's say, if they put pressure on themselves that they have to win this game versus Fnatic, they're crazy.
Yeah.
They need a mental inspection immediately. But I was wrong, you know? They should have come in today thinking that they're the goddamn best team in the world, because it's looking like they are. Certainly putting the previous champions to shame in that first half. 3 rounds found, a pistol round lost. And Fnatic now try to scrap their way back in. They've got themselves a stinger on Durka to farm the orbs. Of course, he's just 3 away from a Blade Storm. That could pay off hugely if he just gets a couple kills. But already BBL are off to a good start. Durka, oh, he's taking a lot of space. They might not expect him there this quickly, wrapping around behind, and he's taking down one. Almost had the chance for the second. But a good recovery in the end from BBL, and it's just the other weapons were not there, right? You had a stinger as your strongest one. When it comes to those scrappy fights, you will lose.
Yeah, 11-3. Well, this is it, really. Fnatic, we've seen them here before, but maybe the stakes were slightly higher.
I'll tell you what, Boaster looks a little happier than the last time he had this scoreline.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That picture will live with me forever. No matter how far down they go, they know they can always make that comeback. It's been proven to them at a higher level than this. But attack side of Ascent now, the map the BBL wanted to play here, and a map that we've cautioned they're good on. But this really has to be a power-up round. The Logitech G power-up round kicking off, and Fnatic got the rifles.
If they take this one, then they've beaten both Fnatic and DRX over the last couple of months on this map. That's ridiculous.
Everyone's going to be banning Ascent against BBL from now on.
Oh no, I don't blame it. Even if it's not your permaban, it should be just a
Hell, even if it's your best map, I think you're just banning it at this point. You know, just don't run the risk.
Shopee Jumbo Cashback kini hadir. Dapatkan promo cashback 10% sampai dengan.
We'll see how they get on over on Haven. Of course, we heard from Lothar he really wants to see that split, the 3rd map in this series. I'm okay if we end up there, Tom.
Yeah,
but at this rate, I'd like to see Fnatic get a little bit more on this map before we talk about Haven. And the chances here with Kamek. He's holding up close, turret behind him, and a few players thinking about pressuring him. Close range Spectres, man advantages as well to those Spectres. It can get dangerous. Numbers advantage in the fight.
Yeah, this is very patient from Fnatic. 45 seconds left. They're just starting to take mid control. The turret's there for contact. You've also got a quick switch of positions for Sushni if it's needed, but they may even just opt to try and battle forward into main. Even some utility thrown out towards short. They're looking for where this push is coming in. Kamek, though, he's going to get one, but there you go. Shut out, a rifle to be had for Aslan. The rest of the players are coming through mid. Instead, he goes swinging onto Leo. And Leo just staying alive in that scenario basically gives them that B site for free. The rest of the players may try and isolate him, especially considering he's so low on HP.
There you go, taken down. Durka's come in to reinforce, and he won't slip up quite so easily. Still, the damage done here for BBL, it gives a chance for Kushner to make it a bit more costly. And that's exactly what he's looking to do. The Bulldog making its way into the site, firing off, and that's when Durka is going to be taking him down. 11-4.
Not this time. You're not dash killing me again. 11-4 though, but that's the expected round. This is the round where ultimately Fnatic came in with a big weaponry advantage, and already you can see the investments on the other side. Kushner going straight in for that operator. Something that might not be expected this early on, because in terms of the financials, he doesn't have enough to get the shields. So realistically, they might be expecting a rifle on the other side. You're also going to want to talk about the fact there's an Odin in play.
Of course I am. Really powering this one up. The Logitech G power-up round again. And for BBL, I'm always going to be a fan of seeing that Odin come into play. But you have to be very particular about when you're pulling it out. Just look at what Fnatic were doing last round, right? They had Kamek super passive, jiggle peeking it, and that was about all that was going down. So if you're going to come in here and start just spamming out your 100 bullets right away, you're not going to get too much for it. It has to be used as that disruptive piece of utility. I think that's why we're seeing him play so passive with it. You know, just waiting to pop out that recon until a little bit later into the round. Now he's got the information that it's clear, and this might almost bait them into making their way forward. Indeed, the Odin starts to rattle away.
Where did that? I know someone land. That looked like it was quite high up in the air. Maybe it'll cut your head off. Kushner though, that's for free. Boaster goes swinging. Doesn't expect him to still be lurking around mid in that position. They've also got info back off the drone as well. Looking like an incredibly good start to the round. Durka might be the thorn in their side though. Looking to try and take some space in towards middle. There's already a crossfire setup though, with the Odin almost blasting through. The rest are just watching on the cross, trying to deny Durka that space to pressure. He gets caught in the air. He dashed across, and while the shot was going towards his teammate, he gets headshot.
Here it is.
Kushner now has managed to find one with the operator. This is a complete shutdown. It's left onto Leo. No spike in hand. That's left in towards mid, and Sushni's just sat in the back. with his Odin, waiting for him to try and pressure, not giving him a moment's notice. Leo has no chance of winning this round.
And there you go. The Odin to close. The spam's good as well. We saw the attempt at popping the recon and then spamming in towards the market. And that's what I'm saying. It has to be a really reactive tool, especially with the way that Fnatic have played. You know, yeah, and listen, if you start to hear a stampede and B main, by all means, spray away. But for the most part, you want to be falling back and harassing them as they make their way through. There's no angle you get for free, not without, especially with a Sova, you've got your shock darts, you've got your recon, obviously which is going to help out your Odin. You've got blind spams and then an op to cover cross. So while they're trying to deal with you, shooting through the wall randomly, blind firing, they peek in to kill you, they get opt. It's a great setup, but you have to be so patient with it. And so far they have been. That's something that I've taken away in almost every single round, is the patience and the discipline of this BBL roster. It is so nice to see.
Well, that was always sort of the thing with the old Turkish rosters. It was basically just blast your way down mid every round and see if you can just kill everyone. Like, it was very much like, have you got the Dragon Vandal equipped? Good, we're going to hit every headshot that's put in front of us. This doesn't look like that, though. At least on this defensive side, it's been very, very calm and collected. They're basically waiting for Fnatic. Like, Fnatic are waiting for them to push. They are just holding this default, slowly taking map control. But every time they actually go for the play, they are struggling to get any of these openers, as BBL are so in form right now.
50 seconds left. The pressure must be certainly building on Fnatic with these last couple of seconds. They've got basically no map control. Just a little bit of mid that they've carved out, but that was conceded by BBL. They're playing on site, looking to pull these players in for the fight. Firing out the Hunter's Fury, not finding too much for it, but players starting to thin out with Suchny falling. This could get a little bit awkward for Turco. He's getting peeked on all sides, and no support there for him. Don't think he's going to be all too recoverable. The Blade Storm finds nothing. One man left to do it all.
Slime is just going to go peeking back in, only manages to get one, and Fnatic will swing back once again. They invested a fair bit into that one, with using that Hunter's Fury in combination with that aggressive push out from Durka. It got them the opener at least, and got them that little bit of space. And that's the thing, as I said, I think that's what they've been struggling with, just finding these openers. A lot of the time they've been losing those battles, so a little bit of a combination to get things rolling. For this round though, wow. I was going to say it shouldn't be much of a threat, but I feel like BBL have been a threat in every single round, and the only man who has a gun on their side is the man that Fnatic have probably feared most.
Yeah, you look at this Turkish squad pulling out all sheriffs and a rifle on Cutie, and you say, not much of a threat? That is an interesting interpretation, my man. I'm going to go the opposite way with it. I have to agree with the correction. This is scary. Not the kind of buy that you want to come in underestimating. They haven't quite spotted Cutie. Knows the player towards Pizza. They heard him break the knife as it went on through. A fight, an interesting duel to take. Blade Storm up for two, not quite able to follow, but he's done the job already. These pistols, the one rifle already dropped, and Aslan a much harder clutch than he had in front of him last round. 12-6, Fnatic might be on their way back, but there's still a long road ahead of them.
For sure. And that's the thing. This is where the rifles now come back into play. The last round was just a minute investment, and even still, it was the Blade Storm that did the majority of the work for Fnatic. A 6-round climb is definitely no easy task versus the defensive side of BBL. And there's going to be rounds coming up soon where they'll have a multitude of different ultimates online. For this one, at least, it looks like they're going to try and aggress a little bit over on that A side of the map. Put Kushina into a spot to try and find that early fight.
I always like Fnatic's ult economy, the way they cycle it. Playing anti-knife outside of B, or recon, whichever would come their way. Oh my, Chronicle! Now, he might not be aware that there's a third player in here. And you know what? I'll forgive him for not quite guessing it. Don't you dare! Okay, okay. I thought he was about to press the digit 3, and we were going to have a problem, but
I think, was he waiting for the null command to run out? So
yeah, so he's not on the floor.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
it's just he's getting closer to his back. I'm like, no.
Oh, Suchny, a decent position, but he's only going to manage to get one. The fake did pull players off, but because they knew there was only one player there, they got the rotation in relatively quick. Aslan has found some space back through. This is starting to get dangerous. He takes the fight versus Durka, and it's all but over. BBL, they've managed to take away map 1. Ascent has always been that Turkish home ground, but they made it look easy.
That is an